This is the AdHero Podcast, the podcast that reveals marketing tips, trends, and techniques by industry experts, insiders, and influencers. For years, AdSemble has helped businesses develop and launch campaigns to amplify their message, establish authority, and earn their lion's share of the market. This podcast will help you design and supercharge your plan to make an impact with valuable lessons you can apply in your business today. To get more information or start now, visit AdSemble.com. That's AdSemble.com. Let's get started.
Welcome to the AdHero Podcast. Coming to you every week on AdSemble.com. My name is Geno, Giovanni.
And I'm Matthew Olivieri. I don't know what that wolf sound was, man. I was just inspired.
It
feels like a full moon kind of night.
Out. Yeah.
We're letting the wolf out here on the AdHero Podcast. We owe our listening audience a little bit of an apology because we had a little bit of an unexpected extended delay last couple of weeks. Things just going on in the business, things going on in life.
Yeah.
Transitions happening, things moving and shaking. But we're back, and we're excited to be back in the studio, in the Geno Giovanni studio that is. And I just want to give it up for Geno one more time.
Oh, thank you. You know I like that sound effect, as we are your personal AdHeroes.
Yep.
It's unprecedented times, and we have a lot of unprecedented news to drop
Let's
today.
get into it. A block.
Yes. So when we start the banter off, let's start the banter off with some good news here.
All right.
Jobs report came out, and you know what? We're really business goal-orientated, self-goal-orientated here at AdSemble and the AdHero Podcast. And, you know, the jobs performance has been going up since last month, or actually 2 months ago.
Winning.
That's right. And not a big spike this last month, but, you know, 1.8 million jobs were added as the unemployment fell from 11.1 to now down to 10.2. And so the job gains were from the leisure and hospitality, local government, and retail, which is kind of like the previous months. And a lot of this information is coming from LinkedIn.
Okay, so what that translates for everybody is we know that 2020 is a year to forget. We know that everybody's plans, business-wise, personal-wise, have kind of been thrown in an upheaval. But the takeaway there is things are slowly starting to get back to the way they were back in December, January, when there was a lot of optimism for what 2020 could be.
Yes.
So I think, you know, if everything continues this path, I think we can still maybe kind of sort of finish the year on a somewhat of a positive note. What do you think?
Well, I'll backtrack. And I remember a close buddy of mine said once before 2020 hit, he's like, 2020 is going to be crazy. And I thought it meant like in a positive way. But I really do think now that, hey, look, this is a good test. And we'll see what happens. Like if we can get out of this, great, which so far things looking like it's possible. 2021 just might be the year to recover from 2020.
Let's make 2021 the year of the... Let's make 2021 the year of the economic rebound, please, for the love of God. What else do we got on tap in the news segment here, my compatriot?
Well, you're going to like this one. So TikTok and WeChat may be banned in the United States come September 15th.
All right, so check this out, everybody. We recorded an episode few episodes back here on season 2 entitled Don't Sleep on TikTok. I think that's what the episode was called. And literally the whole episode was some research we had done here as AdHeroes on your behalf to bring you some interesting stats and some insights that we were seeing happening on TikTok. And it's basically like blowing up as one of the fastest growing brand new social media platforms. But now come to find out that apparently it is created, owned, and operated by 2 Chinese companies that are based in China.
Tencent Holdings and ByteDance.
Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. And these entities may or may not be collecting the user data, or because China is a communist country, nobody knows what they're doing with the user data that so many millions of people, especially young people under the age of 15, I believe, 13, 15, a very popular age bracket on TikTok specifically. And so our president and the U.S. government administration having concerns over what that could mean, has made this declaration that, hey, maybe we should just ban this thing along with this other program, WeChat, which is also very popular, and just not even have it accessible here in the United States. Geno, what's your personal take on that?
So I'm finding out that one of the reasons is not just spying on the American public, but also the American government. And I didn't realize that government officials or anyone related to that will actually be using TikTok or WeChat.
Right. I was going to say, spying on who? Like Will Smith dancing to some music video?
Yeah, you notice that? It's always like two people dancing and like they're in sync.
I mean, spy all you want on that. That's not telling you much.
Right. But I guess it's the data that comes from people's phones. I'm suspecting after all these articles I've been reading the last couple of weeks about it.
Right.
Also, to trying to find out if, actually, it might not even be banned just yet, unless Microsoft or even I've heard Apple could be buying it.
Right. That's the other update there is if an American company buys it, then it could live on here in the United. I don't know what to think about any of this yet.
Well, right. And one other thing I was going to say was that the ad revenue, I don't know how much revenue that they've been bringing in, but it's been soaring up because TikTok has began such a huge momentum. Guys like Gary Vee has been even saying like, don't sleep on TikTok. And I think because of that, a lot of people have really caught on, and advertisers have. I mean, that's the one and only way that this company has been making money off this app has been because of the advertising.
Okay, so basically, everyone listening to this episode, you guys got to get on social media and connect with us because we'll keep you afloat when D-Day drops, which is supposedly September 15th. We'll be talking about this on social and interacting with you guys on what you think about this situation. So stay tuned.
Yes.
All right, stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Moving right along. What's next?
Moving right along. So, we always talk about Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and whatever else, floats under the comic book realm, especially the the movies. But this is unprecedented, actually, and this relates. So AMC, big AMC chain theaters that, have been losing money the last few quarters, billions of dollars worth with a B, and Universal, with Comcast, they have partnered together and are now doing this deal where Universal will play its movies, and after 17 days, will have the option of pulling their movies out of the theaters or keeping them in, but will also be showing their movies on video on demand on iTunes and Amazon.
What? So why is that such a landmark? You're loving the sound effects today. I love it.
Yes.
Why is that such a landmark thing to be dropping here? Because, for anyone who doesn't know who's listening in right now, maybe you could just give the very brief historical overview of how movies are traditionally shown in film in theaters and how the payouts take place.
So traditionally, movie theaters make they make the first week. There's a big percentage that they make on the first week of a film that's in theaters, and then every week subsequently gets the percentage basically diminishes. So the longer it's in the movie theater, the less is brought into the movie theater itself. However, movie theaters make the most money off of their concessions.
Right.
So AMC doing a big overhaul in not only in their theaters with sound and visual, but they also and seating, but they also invested in restaurants, bars. So they're trying to increase their revenue. And I'm sure it was until COVID hit. And this actually came from Deadline. Let me just read this real quick for those of you who don't know what's going on. Late last month, the nation's largest chain theater, linked with the landmark deal that smashed the theatrical window, it will let Universal and Focus Feature release play at AMC theaters for a 17-day exclusive theatrical window, after which Universal has the option to make titles available on PVOD platforms with some kind of revenue sharing. Other big exhibitors, Cineworld, the parent of Regal, and Cinemark, called the agreement a bad move and did and did some small ones.
As did some
small ones.
So basically that $25 popcorn that we all get suckered into buying is really where the theaters make the bulk of their money after that initial week of the release. That's correct. Okay, well, if a movie's really like, I'm waiting for the Venom 2 trailer to drop. I've been making that very well known. They keep teasing us, telling us that they're going to drop the Venom 2 trailer. Where is my Venom 2 trailer? I don't see it. I'm getting very angry. But when that movie finally does get released, I mean, isn't 17 days? That's over 2 weeks. Isn't that enough time for the diehard fans to go see it?
Now remember, that's a Sony picture. That's a Sony property.
Oh god.
So
I get all confused. Okay, take Venom away.
Yes.
Use a
Universal.
Use a Universal film.
So Trolls is what started this all.
All right, okay. So isn't 17 days long enough for most people to get to the theater and see Trolls? Like, it doesn't seem like day 18, 19, 20, etc., the theaters are really going to have that much of a diminished audience, because the bulk of the people are going to see the movie in the first 2 weeks, no?
I think so.
So how is this a bad deal?
Well, see, what happens is that all these other companies think it's a bad deal because blockbusters make their money off of the more they're in the theater. So like Avengers Endgame, brought in $2.3 billion. Avengers Infinity War brought in over $1 billion, and then I think again going with the Black Panther, I think also brought in over.
I got you. Okay.
So one of the reasons why we have these big theatrical releases and we're able to see the movies the way they are, these big blockbusters, is because of all the revenue coming in. So the studios make the bulk of their money off of these big blockbusters. They don't make a whole lot of money off of like the little obviously not the indie films because those are independent, but the smaller films.
Okay. So in summary, what you're saying is the 17-day idea is a bad deal because a film like Infinity War, a film like Black Panther, etc., or even Titanic going back multiple years, maybe even decades now, was in the theaters for so long before it was released on television or on a DVD that you could own in your home. The only place that a person could go see it was the theater.
Yes.
And even all those weeks later, I think Infinity War, if I'm not mistaken, was in the theaters for probably like 6 months.
Probably something like that. Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
So all those weeks later, even if they're getting a very small percentage of the box office receipts, they're still making a lot of money.
Right.
In totality.
Yes. A worldwide release.
Right. So if they trim it down to just 17-day window, and then Universal can go release it on demand and print it on DVDs and ship it out, the theater only has that 17-day window to make the bulk of the money.
Yes.
And then, it still might be available to go watch it in the theater. But if I can check it out on my Amazon Prime at my house, I'm not going to go to the theater. Right. So now I see the other perspective of the argument. Right.
And, this all really relates to like COVID. I mean, if you go back a few months ago with the last Trolls movie, and this is basically the beginning of why all this happened, where the Trolls movie was pulled from the theaters and went straight to on demand, and AMC got mad about that and was actually banning all future Universal films. And then this deal came out, and now it's funny because Regal, Cinemark, all these other movie chains are like, no, this is a bad idea, and we're not going to fall for it.
I couldn't agree more. Hopefully this is just like a pandemic type deal that they have in place, and they have some sort of out clause where they can get out of it. But we'll have to wait and see. Yes. Again, the word on the street is get on. If you're listening to this episode and you like what you hear and you like the AdHero podcast, we really want to meet you in the online world. We're all over Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Come find us, connect with us on these topics, ask questions. We'll even give you a shout out in one of the episodes.
And on YouTube, leave a comment below.
That's right. All these episodes are being streamed on YouTube. You can go back and watch them, leave comments, and we're really looking to boost our engagement level on the social media front.
We want to know what you think, so leave a comment.
Cool. All right, we got our B block. What do we got dropping?
Yes.
The main meat and potatoes of the episode here.
Dun dun dun.
I don't know if I have a sound effect for that one.
Do we have a sound effect?
We'll checking, getting back to you. So what this is all about ad tech. So this episode today is really for people out there who are, if you're a small business owner or you work in a company in a marketing team and you're thinking about online advertising, there is a number of platforms that you can go create an account and do online advertising. And these are known as ad tech platforms. And they promise you 1,000 different ways that you can hyper target your audience to, in theory, maximize your ad spend or the dollars that you're putting into play. Okay. But, ad tech's place in the ecosystem of the online advertising world, how valuable really is it to you as the buyer? And then how about the people that own websites where these ads are appearing? So if you're listening right now and you own a website that gets a lot of traffic, you might be asking yourself, hey, this would be pretty cool if I could start making money by putting some banner ads on my website.
Makes sense.
So maybe I should, makes dollars and cents. Maybe I should sign up with one of these ad tech platforms and let them put ads on my website. But what's come out of this lately is a pretty groundbreaking study. And Geno, what did you learn from Forbes on this subject matter here?
Yeah, it's crazy. It came out today. Well, what they're basically finding is everything that you just said, that when you have a third party that you go to, and because maybe you just don't know how to place ads on your website, and this third party puts in an app or some kind of code.
Yeah, usually a piece of code. If you own the website, you decide where you want the code to reside. You could either put it at the top of the website, the bottom, the left, the right, and the ad tech company will provide you that code with the dimensions of how they're going to place the ads on your website. So they kind of serve it up to you in a perfect little package, and then you either install it yourself in the code or you have your developer install it in the code, and then they verify it, and then boom, next time you log into your website, you would start seeing these ads automatically start to appear in those zones where you place this code.
Right. It's all based on, I guess, the data and the cookies of all the users.
Right.
So what they're finding out is, like, these advertisers, is that if they don't go through these third parties, their revenue when investing back into advertising actually went up, as opposed to having these third parties do it for them, and they're only reaching about a few cents or so for every dollar that comes about. In fact, it states here in this site or on this story, Business Insider tested it out. They put $40,000 of investment into these third parties, and they only saw $97 of proceeds. And the Guardian found out that for every £1 they spent, 20 pence came back. So I guess pence is like cents.
Well, let's ask some of our listeners in the UK, or our listening audience in the UK has been going up lately, I noticed. Thanks to Anchor for providing those analytics.
Thank you, Anchor.
They're really fascinating. So essentially, what this article is challenging is how much value is there in these ad tech services claiming that because they offer hyper targeting and all this kind of different stuff. The thing is, when you log on to websites now, we've probably all experienced this. There's usually a thing that pops up that says, do you accept cookies tracking you on this website?
I get those all the time.
Right. We all do now. Mm-hmm. And that is a law. That's a required by global regulation law that was put into place. Okay. So all websites have to have that now. And you see it everywhere you go. And so most people click decline that they don't want to be tracked anyways. So you own a really popular website. you sign up with one of these ad tech companies, they give you the code to put on your website to start serving you ads. The ad tech company connects with, let's say, Nike or some big brand, and that brand spends $40,000 to put ads on the internet, including on your website, and all you get out of it is maybe $97, right? Because the ad tech company is keeping the bulk of that money. So that's pretty unfair, right? You as the website owner who's generating all the content, getting all the visitors, you should be getting a lot more of that. Now, on the flip side of that, if I'm Nike and I paid $40,000 to have my ads go places, it's kind of telling that like my ad only appeared so many places because the ad tech company themselves like held on to most of the profits, I guess you could say, right? So what this article is basically suggesting is, you know, if you own a popular website, maybe consider, you know, just creating the banner ads yourself and just interacting with advertisers yourself, and then you can keep more of the profits.
They were saying that in an article, or in this article, that happened with Uber. And what they're stating is that no one was really clicking on the ads to add Uber. What they were doing was just going straight to the app for Uber and downloading it there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so those people were already knowing what Uber was, so they weren't even bother clicking on the ads.
That's right.
Wow, it's really fast.
So it's like, was it a waste or was it not a waste?
Right.
I mean, they went to the site or the app, right? So what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to say that it was, you know, I think if you're a brand that already has some strong brand equity and people already know your name, I think you can be more selective about where you are choosing to place banner ads. Like you think of like DoorDash and Ubers, and you think of like brands like this, right? Even Apple computers and Amazons. They don't need to sign up with an ad tech program to have their ads auto played places because they already have such a household name recognition that they can just be much more selective. And so one perfect example I could probably give even for our own website, AdSemble.com, is that, you know, our website very specifically caters to the niche of out-of-home advertising and even more specifically digital out-of-home advertising. Okay, so if we were to sign up, and our website gets a lot of hits every single month, like thousands of hits every single month, tens of thousands of hits, in fact. If we were to sign up for one of these ad tech programs and install code on our website, they might start serving all kinds of different messages in our website. And that experience might not be that favorable because you have people, you know, we're trying to stay laser focused. So you have people coming to our website looking for information about outdoor advertising and billboards, and then they might see a banner ad for like ballet school. Now, that's the point, that these ad tech companies tell you that they are looking at the dynamics of your website and keywords, and they're trying to understand what your website's about so that they only serve ads that are relevant to your website so that it makes sense. That's what they say.
Right.
But I've been on these websites too where I've seen completely non-relevant ads being displayed on people's websites. So now go back to my example. Theoretically, what we could do is take the exact same space where we were going to use one of these ad tech programs, and instead of making pennies a day for them to serve all these ads to our website, we could call people very specific to our industry and invite them to pay $25 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month to have a banner ad on our website, and we just directly make that interaction with that other entity. So what's interesting about that is that's where this article is saying that this the BBC of the Netherlands here did this experiment, and their ad revenues went up 79% year over year because they basically cut out the ad tech and they got rid of all this stuff, and they just did the ad. They just negotiated and sold the ads on their website all by themselves.
Yes. It also, you mentioned about big brands. I forgot to mention this part, but Chase Bank.
Okay,
Well, they also conducted this, and they went or did their own thing, and they went from 400,000 websites that they were on to cut it down to 5,000.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. And they saw profit. I don't know how much because it doesn't state, but
sure.
Yeah, they saw a profit. So, I guess by doing this third party, some companies, or they call them publishers in this article, actually saw loss in their company.
Explain that.
Well, I wish I actually explained it more in here, but I'm thinking like from a business standpoint, like, okay, you're paying all this money to generate another source of income, but you're finding out that most of that money actually goes towards the third party, and you're only getting like so much money back, that it's a small amount. Okay. It just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I got you.
So if I'm spending $100, but I'm only getting like $1 back, well, that's not good ROI.
I totally understand. Yeah. And I think that's what we're talking about here on this particular episode is, for the people out there that if you're a marketing person in a bigger company, do your homework, do your research on which ad tech platform might make the most amount of sense for your company's brand, because you want to stretch your dollars. If you have $1,000 a month to spend on ads online, then you want to align yourself with the best ad tech platform that's going to get you the most for that $1,000. Yeah. So do your research, look what other people are saying about what they've got on their ROI, et cetera, et cetera. If you own a website, okay, and also to those marketers, don't be scared to call a company direct and be like, hey, would you ever be open to me just paying you $50 a month to have a banner ad on your website that promotes my product?
Why not? It makes sense.
People would do that.
Yeah.
People would do that. And if you own a website and it has a good amount of traffic coming to it every single day, every single month, and you're considering to selectively put some banner ads around your website, do your research. Compare what an ad tech product could do. Obviously the benefits of the ad tech product are it's turnkey. You basically install the code and you're done. They do everything else for you.
Yeah. But less headache.
It is less headache, but it's less money in your pocket too.
Right. So you get what you pay for.
So if you own a high traffic website, maybe take a shot at trying to negotiate with a few people in your vertical and say, listen, my website is about air conditioning and heating. You sell, I don't know, whatever a complimentary product is, weather stripping. Okay? How about you pay me $25 a month or $50 a month, and I'll put a little logo for you on my website so that when anytime somebody does air conditioning and heating, they can also be turned on to possibly getting some new weather stripping from your company.
Yeah.
It's just that easy. And then all of a sudden you just went from just making pennies a month to making dollars a month. And that's how you can start leveling up. So that's really the question at hand, and take a deep dive on that. But yeah, we hope this, maybe we can put a link to this article in the show notes and people can read more about it.
That'd be great. Comment below as well and let us know your thoughts. So finally, wrap up. Matthew, do you have anything you want to
I have some great news. We have a brand new VIP level subscriber to our AdSemble calendar web-based platform software. That's our tool that we use for people who don't know. That's our tool that we use that Billboard owners use to kind of connect their billboard to or their locations to our marketplace, and it also has a wealth of other features in it. And so whenever we get a new VIP subscriber, we just love to celebrate them and help get the word out for them. So we would love to welcome sunshinebillboards.com to the AdSemble family of Billboard owners who use our software. Shout out to Chris and Becky out in Louisiana. We're really excited that they're on board, looking to have a lot of people check out their great location out in Louisiana. And it's really nice. If you go on our website, you can see some photos, and we'll put a link to that on our show notes as well. So shout out Chris and Becky. Welcome to the team.
That sounds great. And how can they get a hold of you? our viewers and listeners?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're all over social media. You got at GG AdSemble, you got at Matthew Olivieri, you got at AdSemble, all the social platforms, of course, AdSemble.com. We would love to hear from you. And, if you do give us a shout, you can be expecting a swag pack in the mail. We've already had a few listeners grab those. And so that's a lot of fun and pretty excited to just keep building the community.
It's actually at GG AdHero.
What did I say?
That was the old handle.
See, he updated on me. Listening audience.
That's been it for a while.
That was new for me.
Oh, okay, all right. Fair enough. And then on YouTube, Geno Giovanni presents, and also you'll be able to watch this on AdSemble on YouTube. So
all right,
check it out. Let's
take us home, man. I think this is a good episode.
All right. Well, thank you for listening and watching here on the AdHero Podcast. Make sure to check us out. We upload every Friday, midnight Pacific Standard Time. Okay. My name is Geno Giovanni.
And this is Matthew Olivieri signing out.
And we out.
Want to advertise big and build massive brand authority at the same time? It's easier than you think. Open Display by AdSemble lets you advertise on digital billboards nationwide. Just go to opendisplay.com for a free account to get started.